How strong can love be? And what if it's the love between two celebrities? And how long can a family last if its stability is based on money? The family we will talk about today is the Harvey family. And judging by Steve's recent statements, things are not going very well for them.
Don't let this segment mess our marriage up.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Celeb Life Channel. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the Harvey family. Steve Harvey, the charismatic TV host, and his wife, Marjorie, have been under the microscope, and what I found is a cocktail of love, money, and a dash of controversy. Definite information has emerged from insiders and family friends that Steve is concerned that Marjorie may leave him. The reason, money. And believe me, the story is much more complicated than it seems at first glance. All right, so let's get into it. We've all known the Harvey family as this model of what a strong, loving family should be, right? Steve and Marjorie, always the picture, perfect couple, handing out relationship advice to newlyweds like candy on Halloween. But folks, it appears that the fairy tale might just be cracking at the seams. I've been hearing whispers about some storm clouds brewing in the Harvey household. Word is Steve's got this fear brewing deep down that he might hit a financial crisis and go bankrupt. And then what? Marjorie's out the door. It's like a repeat of that time when Steve was homeless and she left him. As the man himself once said, I told Marjorie on the very first day I met her that she would someday be my wife. But then we broke up because I was homeless.
I met her 86, 87 when the song came out. Then God gave her back to me in 2005.
Now, let's dig a little deeper into this whole situation. There's been some chatter among those in the know that Steve's been confiding in his friends about his fears. This ain't your everyday fear of spiders or heights. No, this is something more profound, more personal. It's about Marjorie potentially walking out on him again. Why, you ask? Well, it's all to do with the green, the moolah, the cash. There's a crisis going down, and it's hitting Steve where it hurts most, his wallet. Now, one anonymous friend, who I'll call Insider, has been quoted as saying Steve's been sharing his worries. The money's not flowing like it used to, and he's concerned Marjorie won't stick around if the high life dries up. And let's face it, Marjorie's used to the royal treatment, diamond rings, designer clothes, vacations in the swankiest resorts. She's had a taste of the good life, and it's a hard thing to give up. Insider B, another friend close to the couple, dropped this bombshell. Steve can't convince Marjorie to tighten the purse strings. She loves the lavish lifestyle too much. But it's not just about the money. It's about history repeating itself. Remember when Steve was homeless and Marjorie left him? Well, Insider C had this to say. Steve can't shake off the memory of being left alone when he had nothing. Now he fears it might happen all over again. There you have it, folks. Insiders revealing a side of the Harveys that the public rarely gets to see. Of course, I can't say for sure how this will play out. But one thing's for certain, the Harveys are in for some stormy weather. And as the saying goes, when money gets tight, the love might take flight. And the Harvey family has enough problems as it is. There are mutual accusations of infidelity and problems with children. Let's dig a bit deeper into the Harvey family drama. Rumors of infidelity and conflict have been swirling around for a while now. Now, I ain't one to gossip, but there have been some strong accusations thrown Steve's way by his own flesh and blood. His biological children have been pretty vocal about feeling second best to Marjorie's kids. And if that wasn't messy enough, Steve's ex-wives have added their voices to the mix, accusing him of playing the field while still tied to them.
The fact that financially, my life is in a shamble. That is absolutely true.
Marjorie, though, she's a different kettle of fish, always presenting herself as the soft, law-abiding wife, but her past tells a different tale. She's got a history of being married to not one, but two drug dealers. And get this, she was once under investigation by the FBI for potential involvement in drug trafficking. Who would thought, right?
Yeah, you got to understand, she's not going to be speaking on none of that because her whole thing is to hide her past.
Then there's the talk of a possible divorce. And it's been circling around for quite some time. Remember that headline, grabbing rumor about a $400 million divorce? Now, that was a shocker. But even then, they seemed to pull through. Still, with Steve's supposed fear of bankruptcy and Marjorie potentially hitting the road if that happens, one can't help but wonder what the future holds for them. And maybe their future is unknown to us, but the past, on the contrary, is very clear. That is why insider statements about Marjorie potentially leaving Steve are taken so seriously, because in the past she has already left Steve once. And let's dive straight into it. There's this buzz going around that Marjorie Harvey, yes, the Marjorie Harvey, is a classic example of a gold digger. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't she just a woman who likes the finer things in life? Well, let's look at the facts and see what they reveal. Before the glam and glitter of being Mrs. Steve Harvey, Marjorie was no stranger to controversy. She was previously linked with not one, but two drug lords. Now, that's a head turner, right? My source had this to say Marjorie was deep in the drug scene. She wasn't just some bystander. But here's the kicker. Rumor has it that when things got hot, Marjorie managed to cut herself loose. How did she do it? Well, there's talk that she gave up her drug lord husbands in exchange for her freedom. A close observer of the case mentioned when the law came knocking, Marjorie did what she had to do to stay out of jail. So that's the pre-Harvey chapter of Marjorie's life. But let's move forward to when she met Steve. Now, Steve was no millionaire when they first crossed paths. He was struggling, he was homeless, but he saw something in Marjorie.
I kid you not, the first word I ever said to her was, I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna marry you one day.
Yet when the going got tough, Marjorie got going. Steve was poor, and she left. Now, that's not exactly sticking by your man through thick and thin, is it? But the tale didn't end there. When Steve got back on his feet, when the money started rolling in, Marjorie was back in the picture. Once Steve's star started to rise, Marjorie was back. It was like she never left. Now, some might say, well, maybe she just realized she loved him. Or maybe she saw a man with potential. But let's not forget, Marjorie loves the lavish lifestyle. Remember what Insider B shared earlier? Steve can't convince Marjorie to tighten the purse strings. She loves the lavish lifestyle too much. And that's where we stand today. Steve's worried about going bankrupt, and he's scared Marjorie might leave him if the money runs out. Steve's scared of losing it all again, and this time, he might lose Marjorie too.
Kill everybody in here about your ass. Please understand that about the way I love you, Marjorie Elaine.
Folks, we've got to ask ourselves, is Marjorie with Steve for love, or is it the love of money that's keeping her around? Her past associations, her departure when Steve was homeless, her return when he found success. It paints a pretty telling picture. To sum it up, we've got a woman who's been linked to drug lords, who reportedly gave them up to save her own skin, who left her man when he was down and out, and who returned when the cash started flowing. If that's not the makings of a gold digger, then I don't know what is.
You are the prize. Don't give yourself to anybody.
And let's get a bit personal here. You've heard the rumors, the hearsay, the tidbits of information. Now it's time to share my own perspective on this high-stakes drama. So let's rewind a bit. Steve gets back on his feet, starts making some real money, and who's back in the picture? That's right, Marjorie. Now, I'm no fortune teller, but you've got to admit the timing is a bit too convenient, isn't it? I've heard it said when the going gets tough, the tough get going. But in this case, it seems like when the going got tough, Marjorie got going, and then came back when things were looking rosy.
Let's first say that you shouldn't feel guilty for anything.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to judge, but it's always crucial to know who you're with, isn't it? And folks, I've heard Steve talk about his financial woes and how it might impact his marriage. It paints a pretty somber picture, don't you think? But here's where I land on this. You know the saying, if you like it, I love it. That's my take on this situation. It's not something I'd personally sign up for, but hey, it's Steve and Marjorie's life. If they're happy with their arrangement, who am I to say otherwise? However, it's hard to ignore the writing on the wall. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Marjorie's past speaks volumes, and her actions during Steve's rise to stardom, well, they speak even louder. In the end, the truth of the matter is this. Life is a roller coaster, full of ups and downs. It's about who sticks with you during those lows that truly defines their character. In Steve and Marjorie's case, the narrative isn't as clear-cut. So there you have it, my take on this whole Harvey saga. It's whirlwind for sure, but it's their whirlwind, and all we can do is sit back, watch, and hope for the best. All right, let's dive back into fans' opinions. The array of thoughts and emotions regarding the whole Harvey saga is nothing short of captivating. Here, we've got a fan who writes, I don't have any problem with this. He dogged his first two wives and practically disowned his biological children. He deserves Marjorie and everything that comes with her. It's a tough pill to swallow, but there's a strong camp of fans out there who believe in the law of karma, the cosmic principle of cause and effect. Echoing that sentiment, we have another user saying, this is a pure example of a trophy wife. Sounds like Steve felt like if he couldn't provide for her, no matter how he got to that point, he didn't deserve her. And Marjorie is passing all of that to Lori. It's a harsh take, but it's a sentiment that's echoed among many fans. But what do you think about all of this? Do you reckon Steve is just reaping what he sowed? Or is there another side to this story that we're not seeing? And what about Marjorie? Is she the gold digger that she's been made out to be? Or is she just a woman who knows what she wants? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I want to hear what you got to say. Thank you all so much for joining me on this thrilling exploration of celebrity rumors. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with the juiciest gossip from the star-studded universe, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me bring you more exciting content like this. Until next time, stay curious, stay tuned, and keep those comments coming.